Blake Lively's learning the hard way that Cord is not Hollywood. She's now made multiple attempts to gag Justin Baldoni and his attorney, now wants the case dismissed, and now is fighting back against a deposition. So in a newly released letter, we are now finding out that Blake Lively is not happy with Justin Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman.
For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's it.
Be filing an amended lawsuit against Baldoni and parties. Well, they're not ready. Her C-list lawyers sent a letter to the judge, Judge Lyman, asking for an extension.
In an unexpected twist that has left everyone stunned, the judge has struck a crippling blow to what many are calling Blake Lively's hidden agenda in the explosive Justin Baldoni trial. What began as a straightforward legal battle centered on Baldoni has spiraled into something far more scandalous, with Lively's involvement now under the microscope. Insiders reveal that the judge didn't hold back, swiftly exposing what some are labeling as a disturbing attempt to sway the case's outcome. The courtroom was electric with tension as every revelation seemed to unravel Lively's alleged plans piece by piece. Spectators watched in shock as the judge's words tore through the facade, leaving Lively's intentions brutally exposed. The stakes have never been higher. With the verdict looming, the impact on Lively's career and reputation could be catastrophic. The atmosphere is charged, and the world is holding its breath to see just how deep this scandal goes.
A judge has denied Blake Lively's request for a gag order against Justin Baldoni and his team of attorneys. There was a hearing today where both parties argued their sides. Blake Lively and her team argued that Justin Baldoni's attorney shouldn't speak to the media, so that's why they requested the gag order. But Justin's team argued that Blake Lively did the same thing, referencing the original article published in the New York Times. While the judge ruled that there would be no gag order in place, both sides have now been ordered to follow New York's rules of professional conduct, which prevents lawyers from prejudicing their juries with comments. So the attorneys are still allowed to talk to the press in order to defend their clients from bad publicity. Blake's team also made a complaint to the judge about Justin's new website dedicated to the case.
The recent decision by a federal judge to reject Lively's extensive request for Baldoni's phone records was a major move in the continuing legal dispute between actress Blake Lively and filmmaker Justin Bald.
Blake Lively's team had asked to subpoena Justin Baldoni's phone, meaning, and not only Justin Baldoni, the entire team that they had sued, meaning like 5 or 6 people, and they want not only to look at text messages in regards to the case, but in regards to everything.
And they want to go back 2.5 years.
Yes, with their internet browser history, so they can see whatever they Googled. I mean, if they do that to anyone's phone, you're gonna find stuff that are suspicious, don't you think? I mean, you Google many weird things. I think for them to ask to have access to Justin Baldoni's text to his wife, I mean, isn't that outrageous?
It sounds like an overreach, if you ask me.
Yeah, or like Justin Baldoni's lawyer called it, a fishing expedition, which is a word he used on purpose, I think, because that's a word that judges don't really like. And this is, like he also pointed out, this is not a criminal case, and Blake is not the FBI. This is a civil case. So I think asking for this, do you think they're going to get it through from the judge?
Not altogether, but you know, it is you can do it in defamation cases, though.
Yeah, but I think limited in defamation.
While It Ends With Us was being filmed, Lively and Baldoni's tension grew. After Lively accused Baldoni of grave misconduct on site, what had begun as an apparently uneventful production swiftly took a tragic turn. She claims that Baldoni and his staff did more than simply fire her after she raised concerns about inappropriate behavior. They allegedly started a full-scale smear effort to destroy her. Baldoni, however, didn't remain quiet. He retaliated forcefully, bringing a defamation action against Lively, her publicist Leslie Sloan, and her husband Ryan Reynolds. The lawsuit transformed what was already a scandal into a full-fledged Hollywood battlefield by depicting a deliberate attempt to ruin his career and reputation. This clash has left fans reeling, torn between two powerful narratives. On one side, Lively's claims of being silenced and targeted. On the other, Baldoni's fight to clear his name and salvage his career. As the accusations fly and the stakes grow higher, the truth behind what really happened on that set becomes even more crucial and more elusive.
Justin Baldoni just dropped his $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Oh, and he just dragged Taylor Swift into it. Let's get it. He's suing for extortion, defamation, breach of contract, the list goes on. Earlier this week, we saw that Justin dragged Marvel and Disney into the mix because he wanted footage and documents related to Deadpool and Wolverine to prove that Ryan Reynolds was trolling him in the new film with the Nice Pool character. And remember when Ryan Reynolds allegedly berated Justin Baldoni at their penthouse when they had that all hands on deck meeting? And in it, he refers to celebrities coming in and out of the penthouse. Well, now one of those celebrities has been named. And it's none other than Miss Taylor Swift herself, who defended Blake Lively. Interesting that Taylor Swift has remained silent in defending Blake Lively publicly when she seems to have been involved in the It Ends With Us drama. And as we know, Taylor Swift's song also ended up being the anthem for the film during promotion. Very interesting. I'll do a deep dive on the podcast this Friday. I have to read through all of the documents, but get ready. This is going to be a wild ride.
Why do you believe that these allegations may have teeth?
Well, first of all, remember this PR team was the same PR team that Depp got back in the Amber Heard and Depp case. Now, most PR firms, you assume, are supposed to promote their clients. That's not what this PR firm does. And what's clear in Blake Lively's complaint is they do exactly the opposite. They go out and intentionally fabricate stories, create smear campaigns, and with TikTok and all the other social media. And that's what happened to Amber Heard. They went after her to destroy her rather than to try to promote Depp. And it worked to a large extent. We had a very conflicted jury. They found in favor of both sides.
Lively's legal team submitted subpoenas seeking Baldoni's phone records going back to 2022 as part of her litigation strategy. They are looking for proof to back up her allegations that a retaliatory thoughts smear campaign started in August 2024.
Lively served the subpoenas on or around February 12th. The subpoenas requested all documents concerning ingoing and outgoing calls or text messages related to telephone numbers belonging to certain Wayfarer parties and related individuals. Within the time period of December 1st, 2022 to the present, the hair care professional wanted all of this information for an over 2-year period.
Judge Louis Lyman, however, believed that these subpoenas were excessively invasive and out of proportion to the requirements of the case, particularly given the duration of the purported smear campaign. He revoked the general request, which gave Lively's lawyers the opportunity to make more focused demands for certain messages that were pertinent to her allegations.
Judge Lyman continues, including but not limited to call logs, text logs, data logs, and cell site information. On February 14th, the Wayfarer parties moved to squash the subpoenas as overly broad and invasive. The court ordered the parties to meet and confer and to report back to the court whether any dispute remains by February 24th. It did.
Blake and her team requested access to all personal conversations, web searches, and browsing history from the last 2.5 years, in addition to text messages pertaining to the lawsuit.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, my besties. Do you think that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had anything to do with it?
This is what Justin Baldoni's team is saying, right? They're saying that Ryan Reynolds pressured WME to fire Baldoni.
Yeah.
And of course, that has been denied by WME. But why then did they fire Baldoni? There are more quotes though out there, and he's saying that I am the man that did it. What did he say? I'm a ride or die guy.
Yeah.
So he takes credit for firing him, and then he's making fun of his last name by calling him Bologna or something like that.
Yeah, Baldoni.
Baldoni, and then he corrects himself and says Baldoni.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah. And that's someone they represented for more than 5 years, apparently.
This request includes browser information, text messages, internet search history, and call logs. A number of others connected to Baldoni are also subject to the subpoenas, which are intended to find proof of Lively's allegations of a concerted effort to discredit her.
The tea is flowing in the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively case involving Taylor Swift and Brian Friedman and all the characters that are involved. And the cross-fighting here in the legal documents, Justin responds to subpoena, say, hey, this is a massive fishing expedition. It goes back and forth, and that's where we land on the actual documents that we're about to share with you. Umbrella Guy, friend of the program, says Blake Lively wants 2.5 years of Justin Baldoni, calls, texts, real-time location. Watch. It's all because she's attempting further character assassination since her Me Too claims didn't end him. Now, as we know, she claims he harassed her, SH, right? And that's really the big story. But she's also going to claim that he was part of a smear campaign. He's going to argue that was in retaliation. We were just planning a retaliation if you were going to come after.
So, reports are making the rounds about a personal trainer who supposedly told Blake Lively that Justin Baldoni had something to say about her weight. Sounds messy, right? But hold on, there's more to the story. Sources are now clarifying that Baldoni's remarks weren't what they seemed. Apparently, he was just responding to the trainer's questions, and things might have gotten twisted along the way. It's starting to look like this whole situation was more of a misunderstanding than actual shade. But this incident really highlights just how tricky and sensitive conversations about appearance can be, especially in professional settings where words can easily be misinterpreted. It's a powerful reminder of how careful we need to be with what we say and how we hear things, don't you think?
There's two main reasons why I don't trust this personal trainer. Number one, I think it's very childish for an adult to come up to you and ask you a very reasonable question, like, hey, how much does Blake Lively weigh so I can adequately train my back muscles to lift her? And then for you to go and run to Blake Lively, who you know is insecure about her postpartum body, and say, Justin Baldoni asked how much you weighed and he fat shamed you, but you didn't hear from me. That is so Regina George coded and not a way that an adult behaves, in my opinion. And number two, a very quick Google search will show that if you go on his website, I'm looking at it now, the main programs he sells are workout programs with Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively. So he's obviously benefiting financially from their friendship. I'll show it to you guys right now.
Blake Lively has taken legal action against Justin Baldoni, claiming she felt uncomfortable after he referred to her outfit as XI. Lively argues that his remarks were unprofessional and out of line. However, interestingly, reports suggest that Lively herself has used similar language when commenting on others' fashion choices. This apparent contradiction has sparked heated debates about double standards and what truly defines professionalism in the workplace. Is it fair to call out someone for behavior you've displayed yourself? Let's dive deeper into this controversy.
Lively being a hypocrite part, God knows what part we're at. Someone said this to Brian Friedman for an example of how Blake can use the word sexy when she is talking about wardrobe and clothes, but if anyone else uses it, specifically Justin Baldoni, apparently that is SH. Blake did an interview for A Simple Favor 7 years ago, and here she is talking about her sexy wardrobe.
I said, okay, I want her to wear menswear. And so initially the conversations were, okay, she wears menswear as a woman and like no shirt underneath and like how women do it. And we tried it, but I was like, I just think that it really just needs to be menswear. And I know that everybody, you know, the studio and whatnot, they want women to be, so they're like, it's not going to be sexy if she's buttoned all the way up to her neck and bow ties. And we were like, just trust us, it's going to be super hot. It's going to be so sexy. And
here's a little reminder of what Justin Baldoni said to make her feel so uncomfortable that she had to file an SH lawsuit. Mr. Baldoni commented how much he liked her outfit, which flustered Miss Lively. Consistent with past practice, he said, I think you look sexy, in a tone that made her feel ogled and exposed. With other female cast members present, she said, that's not what I'm going for. Bristleton replied, I'm sorry, hot. Deeply uncomfortable, Lively said, not that either. He told another female cast member that her leather pants looked sexy. Well, Blake, you love to use that word to also describe wardrobe when it comes to your films, so why is it such a problem when the director does so? She should not be so stunned when a director also uses that word for a character's wardrobe. Just her being a hypocrite. That word is clearly part of her vocabulary, like everyday vocabulary, but when Justin Baldoni says it, it's a problem. That's SH. That's actually bullshit.
Brian Friedman, Baldoni's lawyer, has flatly refuted claims that his client tried to harm Lively's reputation. Friedman argues that Lively's team used media manipulation and out-of-context evidence to craft a savage campaign that includes the claims.
Baldoni claims that the text messages in Lively's lawsuit were taken out of context or excluded. The New York Times said in a statement that they stand by their reporting and plan to vigorously defend against the lawsuit. Lively said previously that she hopes her suit helps pull back the curtain on these sinister retaliatory tactics to harm people who speak up about misconduct.
I plan to release every single text messages between the two of them. We want the truth to be out there. We want the documents to be out there. We want people to make their determination based on receipts.
Justin Baldoni is firing back after Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against the actor, accusing him of unprofessional and sexually inappropriate behavior on the set of It Ends With Us. She also accused him of coordinating a smear campaign.
Was there a coordinated smear campaign to bring down Blake Lively?
100% no.
Baldoni is now suing the New York Times after the paper published a story about Lively's allegations.
Do you plan to sue Blake Lively?
Absolutely.
You will?
Yes.
He stresses that rather than making a deliberate attempt to disparage Lively, Baldoni's crisis management staff followed regular procedures and concentrated on planning hypothetical scenarios. Friedman claims that the storyline against Baldoni is blatantly untrue and pledges to back up his client's claims with proof.
Turns out that Blake Lively was caught on tape talking about how she manipulates people around her in order to take control of the movies upon which she works. Oops!
I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
Oh my God. And then she did exactly that to Justin Baldoni, apparently. If you want to write your own script, you should go write your own script. If you want to sign on to a movie with the understanding that you're going to actually make script changes, then great. But if the idea is that you sign on as an actor and then you turn around and try to take control of the script, this makes you a jerk.
Many in the industry are shocked by Blake Lively's alleged attempt to seize control of the project. Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, expressed his shock, saying that in his 30 years of practice, he has never witnessed anything like this.
Time progressed in this film. She decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of that team. The next thing you know, she took over the editing. She started making threats that she wouldn't promote the movie, that she wanted to be in control of marketing of the movie, that she would do nothing in terms of promotion unless she was the actual editor.
The legal drama in Hollywood is heating up as WME CEO Ari Emanuel has jumped into the fray to support Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Emanuel didn't hold back, praising the couple as truly remarkable and brushing off the accusations against Lively as nothing more than overblown rumors. His bold statement highlights the deepening rift in Hollywood, with tensions rising in the ongoing feud between Lively and Justin Baldoni. Stick around as we unravel the details behind this escalating controversy.
Tell me you were paid off by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds without telling me you were paid off by them. Ari Emanuel, who's an executive at WME, Justin Baldoni's former talent agency, and Blake and Ryan's current talent agency. Also the same agency that a few months ago came out and said Ryan Reynolds did not pressure them to drop Justin Baldoni, FYI. Ari Emanuel proclaims that he was the one to fire Justin Baldoni. And Ari just seems real professional about this. He goes on to say it is an effed up bad situation what Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. Ari praises Blake and Ryan for being really incredible people who never had any bad mojo out there or treated people badly. They are charitable. They're giving tons of money away.
The debate around Lively's claims continues to divide the industry. While some insiders firmly back her, others remain doubtful about the truth behind her story. However, with Emanuel stepping forward in her support, Lively's defense gains significant momentum. This endorsement could sway public opinion and even influence the direction of the legal battle. which seems far from reaching a conclusion.
He says he's known them for over a decade, and when push came to shove, Baldoni was expendable, explaining, "I am a ride or die, and they are good people." Oh, hey, Ari, I thought like Ryan had nothing to do with firing Justin Baldoni. That's interesting, because it seems like he had a lot to do with it. So funny that you mentioned how charitable they are. I wonder how charitable they are to you. So WME literally fired someone over someone else's opinion of them. And the fact that he's coming out and saying this now, after we have seen the evidence from Justin Baldoni's side, the evidence that has debunked several of Blake Lively's claims, FYI. I've already made a video on the WME roster and how there are several people on that roster that should have been fired if it's over SH claims. Mr. Drake A. Minor has been their client for over a decade, Ben Affleck, J Balvin, that's just naming a few. So just add WME to the list of people that Blake and Ryan have paid off.
Author Colleen Hoover, known for her novel It Ends With Us, had raised concerns about its film adaptation long before the recent controversies emerged. In emails to Justin Baldoni, she conveyed her worries that the movie might distort her story, presenting it as a romantic comedy rather than staying true to its powerful message. These early warnings now add a new dimension to the ongoing debate surrounding the film's production.
What Jed Wallace's lawyer is alleging is that Lively weaponized this administrative filing, submitted it to all of these media outlets and specifically the New York Times, and in doing that, he was falsely lumped into all of these horrible allegations of sexual harassment and a smear campaign that he says he had no part of, and as a result of that has lost millions and millions of dollars through his public relations business. So something very important that I noticed in reviewing this is very shortly after Lively's legal team filed the real lawsuit after the complaint, the entire Jed Wallace storyline was completely excluded from it. She was talking about potentially selling the rights to Justin, and she said, "My biggest fear is that I'll sell the rights to someone who thinks it's a rom-com, and they'll take it in the absolute wrong direction." You can't write this. And now we have to move on to the infamous personal trainer. So as I'm sure you guys remember, the reason this entire fat shaming debacle happened is because Justin Baldoni inquired about Blake Lively's weight to Blake Lively's personal trainer, who was also training Justin Baldoni at the time, which we know because we have several receipts that prove that. So this personal trainer, his name has been revealed as Don Saladino, celebrity personal trainer guy. He had a photo up of his wife along with Ryan and Blake Lively, and he edited the...
How do you feel about this contentious court dispute? Is Justin Baldoni being unfairly singled out, or do you believe Blake Lively's actions were justified? Post your thoughts in the comments section below.